showing us who he is. His brother, I was reading something about his brother being raised in by some East German, and that's all communism. The global world, one world government, basically will be a form of communism to begin with. And so that's one of the basic things you're looking at now is a global ban on guns and light weapons. And so that's always been the last thing on the agenda for the New World Order, is to disarm everybody, disarm Americans. And so when you see that happening, it's not bad enough that we already see these concentration camps and internment camps happening that we've been warning about for years. If you see the white trails, I hear from people all over the country that all of a sudden their little communities are being inundated by white trailers and black helicopters. And this is almost starting to become synonymous with FEMA training exercises. I know it's going on in Northern California, Lexington, Kentucky. Right now, FEMA being in Iowa, northeast Iowa, under ICE, immigration, customs enforcement officials working with FEMA under Homeland Security. I know a long time ago, even back when I was doing this show on Reality Radio Network, I did a show on FEMA. And I had warned you guys that FEMA was going to be the enforcement arm of the beast. And that these FEMA officials would eventually just be taken over by alien beings themselves. Because there's no human that would be able to take the level of slaughter and death that they have planned for the American people. And eventually all these FEMA, those working under FEMA, will be alien beings. I found it interesting that the other day on my list I sent out a thing talking about how I had ran into a real robotic-looking cop here in my own little town early in the morning, and that's exactly what I would probably expect to see more and more of our police forces becoming, especially our federal agencies, to where they don't even look like they're real humans. You don't know what they are. They look human, but they're not human. They're robotic, they're chip implanted, they're controlled, they're walk-ins, they're clones. I mean, we've got all different kinds of different arms of Satan's forces that we're going to be dealing with. But that's one thing about FEMA that I'd warned about ages ago. And now they're working closely with the Immigration Service. And what they're doing right now is just it's a practice. They're going into different areas, like I talked about when they were in Memphis last month, and they rounded up hundreds and probably even thousands of people and put them in jail. That's not a drill, folks. That's a raid. That's not a drill. That is really just a federal exercise in arresting people. And now they're doing the same thing in Iowa under the guise of illegal immigration. You know, they're heading into a processing plant and making it look like it's for immigration reasons. Basically what they're doing is getting all the kinks ironed out, worked out of the whole internment and arrest procedures. They're going to perfect it. Because these aren't drills, folks. This isn't going to go away so that this is something they're prepared for in the future. This is the here and now. Because we're heading into a full-blown martial law. And so what they're doing right now is systematically preparing their own officers in how to arrest and transport people into these camps, how to process them, and what to do with these people. And so we're going to see it on a larger scale, because right now they're using the immigration, the illegal aliens, as an excuse as to why they're having these raids. Eventually they're going to be rounding up what they're really after. And what they're really after, what their target audience is, are resistors against the New World Order. I mean, Bush hasn't cared about illegal immigration since he's been in office. Clinton didn't care about it. Bush didn't care about it. They haven't sealed the borders. They don't do anything to protect the borders. They've allowed illegal aliens into this country by the tens of thousands. And now they're going to act like they're bothering us, and we're going to set up raids to kick them out, when their whole plan is to dissolve the borders and have a North American Union where Mexico, America, and Canada are basically just one region We're no longer countries. We're just a region. There's 10 regions under the United Nations. And so watch this setup, because they're going to be coming after the big mouths, the Christians, the patriots of America. All the resistors of the New World Orders is their real target base. I've seen that one in the codes for months, and that's their target base, folks. They're coming after the Christians. And also the patriots who won't give up their arms, anybody who's a big mouth against the New World Order, enemy combatants. You'll hear Bush throw that term around all the time about how we need to eliminate or arrest or detain enemy combatants, and how enemy combatants don't have constitutional rights because they're terrorists. And people right now, when they hear him talk about it, they just go to sleep and they figure, well, he's not really talking about Americans. He's just talking about the Arabs that are terrorists that come over here, and they go to sleep. Folks, he's talking about you. He's talking about the Christians. He's talking about New World Order patriot Americans who won't stand for a New World Order agenda here in America. We are the enemy combatants. That's the ones exactly who he's talking about, because his definitions are very vague. And what could be an enemy combatant today, the whole definition of one could change tomorrow. So I want you guys to be prepared for that, because that's exactly what's coming up. They're going to be targeting the Christians. And it all falls under the first beast when he arrives to earth. You can look at Revelation chapter 13, how he makes war against the saints. And another thing I wanted to bring up is that it's not necessarily the term arrive. Even in the Bible codes, when I see arrive, it doesn't necessarily mean that they arrive to earth, they land on earth from space or somewhere, they land on earth. They can basically just stand up to where they're being known, to where they're known and establish themselves. Or arrive, it could be where it could refer to Maitreya arriving, Sananda arriving, or Bush arriving at this point in time where he stands up and announces certain legislations that are going to imprison and enslave America like he's been doing for the last 8 years anyway. And so the first thing, though, that you have to watch out for is when this first beast does stand up, he's going to make war against the saints. And I've been warning forever that the United States, whoever's president at that time, it doesn't matter if it's Bush, Obama, Hillary, Gore, McCain, it doesn't matter who's president. Whoever is president is going to hand the reins of control and power of the United States over to the beast. Bush is already doing that. Obama's going to do that. And so it doesn't matter who is president. The fact that they're just a puppet, a pawn in the script that's being played out is what you need to know. People don't need to be wasting their time on politics, spending all your time and energy on voting for McCain or Obama or Bush. They're all evil. And so what we need to be doing is preparing for the last days. We know a famine's coming. They're salivating on this one. They're planning it. They're sabotaging crops all over the world as they call for the end of global hunger. They want more nations to put more and more money into ending poverty. You have to remember that everything to them is black and white. What's white to us is black to them. What's black to them is white to us. And good is evil, evil is good, and they're all backwards. They don't want to end global poverty. They want to cause global poverty. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're causing global poverty. And they want people to die. It's all part of the depopulation program. You can look under the United Nations Agenda 21 program. It's all part of the plan. And so what they have planned, despite everything, when you read anything that they put out, assume the opposite, the complete opposite. They want to save lives, they want to destroy lives. Just read the complete opposite and everything they put out, and you'll start to understand who and what they really are, and what their real agendas are. We've got plagues coming, we've got famine, and you can see that with just the last two horses that are coming, the black horse and the pale horse. The black horse is famine, the pale horse is plagues. And it's all around the corner, folks. It could, the black horse being implemented now with the famines. Black horse indicative of Maitreya, this Arab Messiah.